Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Shit Talking Sundays in the light of a warrior with the MS Warrior. Um, Today, I think we have a little something special for y'all. Um, you might want to chime in today. Today is going to be a real good one. We're going to get really up close and personal. It might be Q&A day or something along those lines. But let me bring her on. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm going to let her come out and give you all the good jewels that's getting ready to happen. All right. So, in the light of a warrior with MS Warrior, if you haven't liked, subscribe, or hit the notification button yet, you need to. And if you haven't shared, you need to make sure you share it to your friends because they want the same knowledge that you're giving them. And we do it every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So let them know. In the light of a warrior, the MS Warrior, her journey with Kesimpta treatment. Ready? What's cracking? The
Hey, hey,
MS
hey, what's up, AG?
Man, it's always a great day when we're learning something about health.
Yes, exactly. So, hey guys, what's out there in my warrior land? Josh, thank you so much for tuning in again. And I hope you're on the road to recovery. And I hope that relapse, that flare is in your past. I know we were going through it at the same time, and it's been over a month for me, and you were on my heels with it. So, I'm hoping you're fully recovered, back to baseline, and back on your feet and doing what you love. So, guys, tonight I have somebody special, my first guest. And I don't know why this didn't come to me sooner because he's more deserving than to be my first guest on the podcast. Terrific, Josh. Terrific, terrific. Glad to hear that, Warrior. You're welcome. Um, this person is very special to me, and you guys will find that out in just a second. How much they mean to me. Um, it's been very big in my life over 10 years, really extremely big, and since I've been diagnosed the last 5 years with MS. Um, this person has been with me before MS, and he's still with me today with MS. So, AG the dad, let's bring on my special guest, guys. Welcome, my honey, my backbone, my all, to the show tonight.
How you
Hi,
doing?
baby, you're in the
Hey,
other room. So, Josh, baby, that's my loyal follower here, Josh, tonight. Josh, meet Larry, the man who keeps me going, the support system
how you doing,
um
Josh?
in my life. So tonight, guys, we get to drill Larry about his life with
How you doing, Josh?
um with MS. Okay, because as we know, um, you guys, Josh, your family, your friends, your colleagues, if they do know, you need a lot of support. People need to know how we're feeling because we need help. Some days we can't drive to the doctors, drive to the ER. We need medicine. We need our treatments. When we fall into a relapse, we have to get to the hospital and get that almighty Solumet draw. Where my support team, a piece of him, he's a big piece to my puzzle with the driving. He sits at the ER, the whole ball of wax, guys. And I'm gonna get into that. And no holds barred today with the questions. Okay, so don't think that I'm gonna let him off the hook because there's probably some things that I'm gonna ask him today that maybe I haven't asked him in the last 5 years. Maybe so, maybe not. He's going to um, fill us in and give you um, his overall life taking care of me with MS. First, I want to read. Josh says, yes, my wife has been with me all the way from the beginning. Wonderful, Josh. I'm glad you have your support system because, and I'm sure as you know, and I know, I have come across a lot of warriors that that get on social media platforms and vent because and befriend people like themselves because they don't have a support system at home. Sometimes people don't um, know how to accept and cope and deal and accept when their loved one is sick. For instance, and I'm just putting this out there because it has been conversation of mine. Sometimes, men with the sickness and Larry, you could probably relate. AG, you could probably relate, and Josh, because men are held just in life in general up to a certain standard on being, the strong one, the backbone, the provider, the strength, the brawn, all that. But when a male is stricken with MS, um, they can feel like the wind has been knocked out of them, and that I'm sure has to be really hard for a man to deal with what comes with MS. Um, Larry can probably, and Josh, you too, you could probably, because you have MS and Larry doesn't, but he has seen it knock the wind out of me. So he can probably relate to what if he was in my shoes? How would that affect him? How would he cope? How would he deal with it? How would you just, on that level feel? So there's sometimes in conversation with other warriors, these men um, at home don't get the support because they're in their life they've been made to take care of their families, their children, take your kids to football practice and stuff. Some warriors, yes, are still doing that, but there are some warriors who are stricken that can't walk, that they're wheelchair bound and stuff like that. So support system is key, and some men have their ego, let's so to speak, and don't want people to know how weak they really feel, or can't be that person that they once were before the MS, because as you know, Josh, it makes us very, very weak, very, very weak at times. And Larry has seen me very vulnerable. He's been there for all of that. The walking, the I need you in the restroom, um, just from A to Z. I couldn't stand to take a shower, so he had to wash me. Just the whole thing. And it's so much entails more emotionally than, well, let me get my girl in the bath and do this. Okay. I'm sure it comes with this disease thing, it never goes away. Does he wake up and look at me and be like, she has this disease? It must affect him um greatly, as it does me, but he's
It's funny you say that, right? Because
Mhm.
the fact that you even said that, that was going to be one of my questions, Larry.
Yes.
So when you found out your significant other, your wife, had MS, right? Did you all of a sudden think, holy shit, is she contagious? Am I going to catch it? I mean, is it something that's sexually transmitted? Uh, did any of those concerns come into play for you?
No, not really. As of, I just kind of was wondering how is this gonna change us, because I really had no clue of really what the circumstances she was dealing with, or how bad it was gonna get. You know, so just like she started researching, I kind of started researching, kind of figuring out what is it really about. Because it's kind of like this: when you in a relationship, if she's sick, we sick. You know, so it was just a little bit of a trying to kind of figure out where we're going with this and how bad is it going to get.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right on.
So, yep.
Were
Any
you
more?
worried? Were you worried about giving it to him?
Um,
Was that a question you asked the doctor? You know what I'm saying? Did you go, doc? All right, I have MS. All right, now I'm married. What do I mean? do I need to take precautions with my husband? I don't want to get him sick. Is it, were you worried that it was contagious like a cold? And that
Yeah,
way we could dispel all these myths, because
yeah,
I want
yeah, yeah,
you to
yeah.
understand this is not something you catch like
No,
that.
no, but yeah, yes to your question, AG. Yes, because when I was diagnosed with it, I was like, well, how did I get this? No one in my family, I've never heard of this. Well, you caught it somehow, somewhere down the line in your life, you've caught a virus, the flu, a cold, some type of virus, and your body mechanism was fighting that virus and it didn't shut off. So, of course, when you hear the word virus, you're thinking, shit, I'm contagious. I could be contagious. Virus to me, the first thing
Hmm.
anybody hears about the virus, you're like, oh, you know, and so yes, yes, yes. And Josh says he was worried about having kids. Yeah, Josh, yeah, I'm sure. So that's definitely, and because I'm done having children, you guys know, well, you might not know, but you know now, I'm menopause. I'm 56 years old. Proud of it. I have three babies, and my babies are grown. Larry's got three babies, and
Lucky
they're
you, Larry. Lucky you.
grown.
Yeah.
um,
It's
and
shit
I
talking Sundays, and every day is shit
shit
talking
talking
Sunday.
Sundays. So, I have um 8 grandkids. Do I have 10 now? D's too? I don't know, but I'm 8 to 10. I'd have to sit and count. And Larry's just had his first grandbaby in March. So, we're past the baby making stage, but
But I guess, is he worried? Would you pass that trait on? Is that something that can be passed on to if you were younger with MS? Is that something you go, oh shit, I got MS, I can't have kids now. I don't want my kids to catch or have MS.
right. And that's a crazy question because since our technology and this disease has evolved over the years, if you guys think back, and for me, with all the research, because I'm the one that has the ailment, back before I was diagnosed, I didn't hear nothing about MS on TV. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'd say 10 years back. I never,
Mhm.
because I had something happen 10 years ago and they said you had some spots in a predominant area where MS strikes. I didn't hear nothing, didn't know nothing about MS back then. So when now to date, every 2, 3 months, scientists are saying, because they didn't know too much about MS years ago. Okay. So now they're saying, well, if somebody could have been passed it down. Is it hereditary? Or I think it's John Hopkins disease. There's so many things, Lyme disease. There's so many things that they pinpoint, they point their finger. Maybe, 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 maybe. Josh, really, you thought what did you I don't
That's
mean to
funny.
laugh, but yeah, every Tuesday we have a good go
She's
ahead.
she means to laugh, because every day is shit talking Sunday, and right now she's talking shit, and she
Yeah.
said,
That
ha
was
ha
kind of funny.
ha. All joking aside, Jerry's kids is not a joking thing.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
the way you
Right.
said it was funny, but
Yeah,
but
God forgive me.
it's a good I forgot, what do you call it, charity to
Yeah.
to donate to, but
Yeah, it's
you
been
know
around for decades, decades and decades. And I remember when I was a little girl watching, I think one of my grandparents used to watch Jerry Telethon and stuff. So I don't mean to laugh. God, please forgive me. But Josh, you're didn't know what MS. Yeah. So, but Josh, that's why I always say when I talk to everybody and on my YouTube and on my Facebook page and people that I see that communicate with me about their family not understanding and they don't want to be here anymore. And how can, the family be so neglectful and hard and call them lazy. And I tell everybody, and the women is like, how can I educate my husband or my boyfriend? He thinks I'm lazy and I'm gaining weight, and I'm just making things up because I can't go shopping or go to functions with their family. Education is key. And I'm sure, baby, I know you could agree to this because
Yes, it
you're
is.
living the life, and I'm sure you've had to do some researching yourself to understand exactly um, what life you were facing because you deal with me. So, you guys, let me get to some questions for him. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Where's that spotlight at so I can show
Go ahead and shine it.
you? Okay, so um, what? How do you see MS affecting me? I want to hear your rendition of the bad. Just a brief description of the bad in your opinion.
Well, because I knew you before you had MS, and you was always ready to go, 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 go. And we was always doing stuff and couldn't
Yeah,
get you to
go get
sit,
it.
couldn't get you to sit down. And then to
Yeah,
see somebody with the kind of personality that you got, and then to see you get stopped right on the spot, then it got to be something pretty serious. You know what I mean? Like I see the after effects. Like we go out and have a good time, and then you hurting for that good time for like 3 days, sometime maybe four.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I've seen the difference because you was more on the go than I was. You was always ready to do something, but MS kind of stopped you in your tracks when it really got going before we
yeah,
found medication to kind of control it or whatever. But it's
yeah,
like you said, it's all about patience though, because you see somebody feeling good until you understand it, and then you see them down and they're not doing so much. And then if you don't understand it, you might not be sensitive enough to it, you know, because you don't
yeah,
understand just how bad that's affecting them and really stopping them in their tracks, especially when you're used to them doing different things than what you see after
yeah,
MS has got a hold of them really
yeah,
good.
and yeah, and on that, never. And I'm thinking because we've had a lot of hospital visits, a lot of hospital stays over this 5 years. We've had a lot of family reunions. We've had a lot of birthdays. We've had a lot of Christmas, Easter,
Yeah.
just everything. And uh, I can say that you're selfless because you've never let my disease uh make you feel a certain kind of way because I can't participate, or because there's a lot of times that you weren't able to go somewhere because you had to take care of me. I was homesick out of the hospital. You wouldn't want to leave me if I was in a relapse or a flare. You wouldn't leave me home alone, or even if one of the grandkids were home. Hey, Captain Tommy, I'm so glad you made it tonight. Um, Special guest, very special guest. I'll reintroduce him in a minute. You have shown me a lot of um selfless acts on your part
Well,
because
like I said before, though, when you're sick, we sick.
yeah, and I know you mean that because
Yeah.
you've shown me that. And guys, I'll tell you, um we're this is our truth. No sugarcoating anything. That's why um the questions that I have for him and the support that I have, and I always say support is everything because um, I have this support, and a lot of warriors don't, and that's why I want to be there for the warriors. Um, to spread the awareness, but to be there for support, that's the more important thing because I have a great support system. He's a big piece to the puzzle. My son is a big piece to the puzzle. I have grandkids that Larry and I raise that I depend on daily, for that support, and it's vital. It's what I couldn't see it doing it without Larry. That's the honest to God's truth. Um, things have changed. He's not just somebody that that I love And for him, I'm sure he feels this way too. It's somebody now that he's taking care of. How does that affect our relationship, baby? How does that, in your words, how does that affect our relationship?
Well, I mean, it definitely changes things, but the simple fact is that I hold this to what I really think is that when you're in a relationship, you mostly do things together anyway, right? So
Yeah.
if you're not able to go, 9 times out of 10, I don't really want to go anyway. So, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if we don't go, I might kind of like be like, man, I kind of wanted to go, but I know I don't want to go without you anyway. So, I learned to deal with that. Sometimes it's better just to stay home and watch TV with you while you get better. And then we just plan for something different. It's just the patience. You got to learn how to have patience because it's not easy when you want to go, but you got to learn
Yeah.
to have patience with somebody you care about. And I see that Josh asked, what can
Hmm.
he pass on to his wife? Just let her know that you see that she's trying to take care of you and she always got your best interest at heart. Because CC always lets me know that okay, I'm glad you're doing this for me, and I'm glad you. Because sometimes you don't need a pat on the back, but sometimes it's good to hear it. You know what I mean? When you caring for someone, because when they feel better, kind of like you feel better. Because it's kind of like the same thing. Because Cece knows that when I get sick, and I don't get sick like her because she has MS, she tries to take care of me when I get sick. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like my
Yeah.
sicknesses to me, it's kind of like it's funny because
Yeah.
if I get a sore throat, I'm kind of like, well, I ain't gonna talk that because I know you feeling a lot worse than what I'm feeling, so I kind of keep my sore throat
Yeah.
to myself, you know,
Yeah. But yeah.
you
And
know.
see, guys, Josh, that's when Captain Tommy, that's one thing that and this is honest God's truth. He has told me that. He goes, but I don't want to complain to you when I don't feel good because I know you feel worse than I do. But still, let me be your woman and let me take care for you. And I tell him, okay, so come get in the bed because that's where anything that goes wrong with him. Okay, well, come lay down, come get in the bed, get your stuff, and come in the bed because that's where I spend most of my time. My bedroom is my living room. Everybody knows when they come over, if I'm not on a good foot, guys, my bed is my couch. It's it's the everything. Everybody has their comfort zone at home. My room, my bed, that's where it's at for me. So if Larry's not feeling, too good, like he says, no, he doesn't get sick, but when he does, and I still have to take care of him. I'm a take care woman, period. That's me. I'm a caretaker. I don't need it, just so to speak. I'm a giver. But because I'm stricken with this disease that stops me from taking care of myself 100%, I had to come to terms and let somebody do it for me. And I wouldn't have had anybody do it in my life than him. And I'm going to keep it real. And I tell my friends, my family, anybody, up until this point in my life, any man that I had ever been with, none of them could stand in the shoes that this man has stand in these last 5 years. Okay, not only did I would get diagnosed with MS, but 7 years ago, now Larry and I have known each other over 10 years, but 7 years ago, we had to step up and take care of four babies. Four. Okay, so I believe in my heart of hearts, I think any person that I had ever dealt with in my past, they would have had to walk out. This guy right here he's um exceptional, and I see that he's exceptional in his family. So thank you, baby, for being you.
You're welcome.
I'm not gonna cry tonight, but
Yeah, not tonight.
no, but when I talk about my heart, my feelings, I get emotional
Yeah.
because I'm stricken with this, and it means everything to me for you to be here. So, but let's okay. So you answered Josh's question. What could he give his wife some pointers? You know, and Tommy says, "Preach that shit, everyone's." Everyone needs an amazing support system, especially with MS. You couldn't have said anything further from the truth. And that's my whole point. And I say it all the time. I'm not going to keep repeating myself tonight, but yes, Captain Tommy, that's why I do what I do. I have a tremendous support system, and a lot of warriors out there don't have it as good as I have it. Um, with the support system, it really it takes a warrior to stand in there and take care of an MS warrior. That's for damn sure. Tommy says, takes a large pair of pants to step up like that. Honestly, yeah, you have no idea. And Larry deserves, you know, all the praise for that. I have an older son. I have three kids actually, but my older son, he reminds me frequently about Larry's disposition on the role he plays in my life, and my son is grateful um to him for that, because um my son wouldn't be able to if he had to, yes, but my son, of course, Larry and I were significant others. So, as a son, and maybe you could relate, AG, Josh, Captain Tommy, you guys could all relate because you're men. So you would want the same for your mother if she was stricken with an ailment, an illness. So it's very important to my son, because this is the man in my life, that takes care of my grandkids, which aren't his by blood. And the youngest, mind you guys, was 4.5. She'll be 11 in June. That's the youngest of them, of the four. So, it's been a big piece of cake, for anyone to fill. That's big shoes. Captain Tommy says, you guys are a wonderful family, and the support you give each other is inspirational. Honestly, thank you so much. Thank you so much. He's wonderful. In the beginning, I was something else. I was sick. My emotions were all over the place. I was a tough cookie anyway in attitude. I'm a Capricorn. I'm strong, bullheaded, anything under the sun. And his disposition has taught me a lot. It has changed ways in me that I was always in my life, just in general as a person, even before I fell ill,
Well,
and
go ahead.
and and not to be just overdoing it, but that's sincerely, honestly, I was kind of hard to deal with at one point. You can't tell me nothing, and I'm this and that because I've been like this all my life. Capricorn gang. All
Mhm.
right.
So,
December 22nd. Yeah. So
Larry,
Yeah.
question. Uh, Tell us one of your scariest um, situations that you've had dealing with your wife and MS.
I think I know which one.
Well,
Are you gonna say that one? No.
yeah,
I think I
well,
know what
yeah,
you're gonna say. Yeah, let's
yeah,
do it.
yeah. Well, one night we sleep. It's around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's waking me up, and she's shaking me, waking me up, and I'm half asleep. And she said, looked at me straight in my eyes and said, "I think I'm dying." No, it wasn't funny at the time, but she said, "I think I'm dying." So I'm waking up, I'm half asleep, I can't even concentrate. I think I told her I think I'm dying too, because I think we were, I was asleep, I was half asleep. So I'm trying to, I'm
Come
trying
back,
to,
because that's funny.
Oh my God. And he's not lying, you guys. Look, if I was really dying and the ambulance took us long to get there, by the time he came, he couldn't even dial the phone, poor thing. He was panicked. He was asleep. He
Um,
couldn't he couldn't even dial the phone. There was honestly, before this medication that I'm on now, Kesimpta, a lot of things have calmed down on my MS. And Larry can vouch. I'd wake up in the middle of the night like I can't breathe, and my heart is just pumping and pumping. I'm sweating, and of course that would freak anybody out in their sleep, but because I know I'm ill, I used to panic and let it get out of control, but I always said, "Please call 911." I would be shaking him in bed, waking him up. And then this time, I felt really weird in my body and my mind, and I seriously thought I was dying, you guys. It woke me up out of my sleep. Something was wrong, and we laugh about it now, and that's no joke. But he said, and when he tells the story to me, he still says, or to anybody else, he says, "Man, I thought I was dying because I felt so."
I was half dreaming. I didn't know what was going on. It was kind of, but yeah, though. But we had to get past those times because once I got over being nervous, then I was able to calm you down when you went through those spells and let you know that if we just relax, it'll pass. That you were more healthier and more stronger than what you thought you were.
Yeah, Larry has to remind me sometimes, and he sees, of course, me from the inside and out, and so I've suffered with this MS. Something at night would wake me, and I would just be panicked. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of night terrors. Those are real. Anxiety and all that kind of stuff. But something would happen to me at night, and it would panic me. By the time I was like awake, my heart is pounding, I'm sweating, it's hard to breathe. And you guys, if you guys know, if you've ever had an anxiety attack, panic attack, those can be very, very scary. So Larry, and then of course, sure, there was in a few times over the course of 5 years, he's had to call 911 because I'm telling him, please call 911. He doesn't never say, wait a minute, are you sure you need 911 or anything like that? He's on it. You know what I mean? But every time this would happen, by the time the ambulance gets me around the corner, I, I want to tell them, okay, I'm better now. Can you take me back home? So I so I started realizing, hey, something is bringing on that attack while you're sleeping. And by the time the ambulance would get here, they'd hook me up and they're like, everything's normal, and then I don't want to feel like a stupid and be like, okay, no, it's just a panic attack. You guys could go ahead and go home, but sometimes I go to the hospital because I know I have this disease and I don't know if something's wrong, in my brain that's causing it. It's scary. And I'm sure you guys, can relate. Um, Josh says, I would get that when my mother-in-law would stay the night. Oh my goodness, Josh. um, yeah, that was a good one. And AG left the room for a minute, so he sure would capitalized on that joke. Okay, so another question for Larry. How does MS affect you, and in which ways?
Well, it affects me because, I mean, as you know, you was my fishing buddy, you was my ride or die, and it
Yeah.
kind of took those things away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which we can get back in other ways, but during that at that time, if I felt like it took a few things away from me that me and you used to do together. That
Right. A lot.
we used to enjoy, like the overnight trips out of town at any given notice. Hey, let's go here. Bam, we was gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 3, 4 in the
Now,
morning, riding on the
yeah,
freeway, going out of town and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It has slowed down a lot of things and make you sit back and think, and it also makes you grateful because sometimes you think that I've seen you at your worst and I've seen you at your best. Sometimes you still think that it could be worse. You know, it could be
Yeah.
worse. A lot of people are wheelchair bound, bed bound. It could be a lot worse. But MS, one thing it will do, it will humble you and make you appreciate
Yeah.
life and start thinking about different things. It will humble you real fast, real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that right because as you know, I'm sure you've seen a change in me
Yeah,
spiritually
yeah,
because since I've been sick, your mom and your dad, as well as her prayer team, but more so your parents, they've come to me while I was in the hospital, as you know, and prayed over me and stuff like that. So that has changed me spiritually. Of course, I don't know if anyone else, and I'm not putting this up on anybody else about God or anything, but I do believe in the man above exists, and that's who I have um put all my, I don't know what to call it,
Faith.
since I've been sick. My faith. I had faith, but my faith is 100 times stronger than it was 5 years ago. And I can give thanks to your mom and dad for that, because it just totally made me feel different. And then when I started believing more, then it gave me more of a purpose to live MS and not let MS live me, even though things have been hard. And you've heard me say before that I didn't want to live anymore. You've seen me go through
Yeah.
those days at home, coming home from the hospital, being really, really sick, and not wanting to be here because I'm in so much agony, and just it and nothing can stop that. you know Pain meds and all that stuff and medicines, that doesn't stop how a warrior feels when their brain is being attacked. You could probably imagine, but it's like you're trying to live and just feel what your normal is before you're sick, and then to be stricken with the MS, and that those attacks have scarred your brain, your neck, your spinal cord, like mine is. I have multiple lesions on the left and right side of my brain, down my neck, and down my spine. So when you're missing those signals, you don't feel too good. You know
You
what I
know,
mean? You're
it's so
so
crazy what you're going through. Um, when you said you didn't want to live anymore, that kind of stuff. The
Mhm.
concussion, when I was going through my concussion, that's why I keep saying I understand why
Right,
people who went through concussions would commit suicide. If you don't have a support group, a very good understanding support group, um,
right.
that will help you through whatever you're going through, you can be a statistic. Because let me
Yes.
tell you, there was many nights going through my concussion I thought about, man, I can't take it anymore. You will be
Right,
surprised with 20 days of an hour a day, if that, asleep will do and make you feel over time. So yeah, I could completely understand and relate to the mental blocks that come, because it's very
right,
frustrating when you know that this side of the brain is telling you we know all the answers, and this side of the brain is telling you, I don't even have a clue what you're talking about. But when you're trying to access everything, it's not. It's like telling you to go up when you're telling it to go down.
right,
And
right,
it's just it's crazy, and it's something that you cannot explain to
right.
anybody.
Mm-mm.
um, Especially with concussions, every concussion is different. But
Right.
it's so crazy that there's so many similarities between MS and concussions that I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But anyway, back to what you were
Yes.
saying.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a feeling that indescribable. It really indescribable. It's not like I have a cold and I know that, and I know I have a cough and that hurts my chest and I'm coughing so my head hurts and stuff like that. No. It's a feeling that there's many multiple times where I felt like my body was trying to stop, that it was going to stop. I have felt that I was getting ready to seize, like have a seizure. I have felt that on many occasion. Um, and I don't know. Yes, I do know, because I'm speaking about myself. And one thing I forgot today, because I was so excited that my guest was going to be on the show, I forgot. um, Guys, anything I say, on this podcast tonight. I am not claiming to be a doctor. Everything that I speak about is which is what my medical team is doing for me. So at any time, if you're feeling sick and you need to call 911, do so. Always get the advice from your medical team, your medical doctor. I would never be on here portray that I'm a doctor or tell you to do anything that I'm doing for me, because what works for me may not work for you, may harm you. What may works for you may harm me. Okay. And I forgot that at the beginning of the show, but bam, there it is. So, um, moving on to another question. How how do you mentally prepare to be an MS support system daily?
Practice patience. You have to practice patience, whether it's just sitting and thinking for a minute, you know, because you can't, like I said, when it comes down to it, you have to learn how to be sensitive to it, because if you don't understand it, it will not, it won't work right, because you have to understand and get in the head of someone else or how they're feeling. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
Because sometimes it can frustrate you, but it's not fair to them because they have no control over what's taking over their body. So
Yeah.
really just practicing patience will prepare you for most of anything that it has to come, because with patience comes a better outcome, because then you can just sit back and relax and take it one step at a time instead of trying to, you know, figure it all out, because as you know, we really can't, because you don't know how you're going to be feeling from day to day.
Yeah, and yeah, and that you know, because I'm like, you'll say, or I'll say, because my mind still wants to do all the things that
Yeah,
I used to do, as you know, but my body will tell me something different. So when we talk about making plans, I'm always, well, I'll know tomorrow morning what I'm
yeah,
doing when I wake up. If my body is going to allow me to walk on my own, take a shower, take a bath, take a shower, go sit outside, walk to the mailbox, go to the grocery store on my own, on my, walk it, or take the chair. And that's another thing too. Um, you know, you have to pack up because of me with the extras, for fishing, we got to take my chair, we got to take the tent, we got to take a fan, take, we got to take
well,
the water vest, we got to take the water
that's where
shoes,
that's where
we got
patience comes in at.
so you guys, he loves fishing. He's from the country. He taught me how to fish, and girl power, yes, girl power. I love fishing.
Okay.
And so this year, and you my warriors, I've told you guys at my New Year's resolution was to do more with myself this year, since this medicine, the Kesimpta, has made me feel better, but just to be able to be present in it, in Larry's life, things that he wants to do, in my children's life, in my grandkids' life, um, soccer games, whatever it may be. So it's like, so I am preparing and I'm buying all this stuff. And Larry is like, well, I'm used to not, since I've been fishing by myself now, I'm not used to carrying all this, this stuff. So I bought a pop up tent, and the toilet bucket. And I bought a fan that does the misting. It's cordless, and bought this half dome tent to where I could sit in it and get the mist. So I'm buying all this stuff because I said that I want to be more present in everybody around me's life, and it's good for me. I was missing out, and it's good for them because I don't expect everybody to sit home because I can't be present in doing what they're doing. I don't want that. Um, and just like some days that I am feeling good, Larry makes plans with his family. They go fishing all the time, about an hour or two, 3 hours from here. So days that I'm feeling good, he's like, how you feeling? Can you feel like you'll be home for by yourself for about 10 hours? Even though I'm never home alone, because my father is also here. We take care of my dad. He's in his 80s. And one of the grandkids are usually home. So not every time I'm home alone. So which that gives Larry time to go out and get some me time and do the things that he loves to do because I can't always tag along. It doesn't happen for us anymore. So um let's see on okay. So well AG kind of asked the question about what would have been the most scariest moment for you. Um, and my question is, can you describe what you go through on a trip or stay in the hospital on a relapse or flare? For me, what do you go through when you know I'm going through all that in the hospital and
Yeah, well, it's kind of overwhelming because you gotta it's a lot to balance, with you and the treatment, and I want you to bounce back, and be get back to rare form, to get back into the things that you want to do. But it's kind of worrisome sometimes, because you don't know how the outcome is, how long you're going to be down, or is it going to affect you permanently this time, or
right?
a lot of those things go through my mind, you know. And as you know, it's
Yeah,
hard to sleep here at home when you're in the hospital. So
yeah.
that's
And then
you know,
with all the dogs in the bed.
yeah. I got a loan issues to begin with, so we got so you know,
Yeah, I'm
but
surprised they ain't gave you your own parking stall at the hospital as many times we've been there. Oh, this
well,
belongs to him because his warrior wife is up here. This is this is his sleep spot.
I should be using it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can imagine just as draining. Just because you're not stricken with the disease, that doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you emotionally. I'm sure Josh's wife and Captain Tommy's significant other, I'm sure that they're affected by that too because when you care for someone and you see them going through it, you don't know. Of course, you have sympathy, because that person's in pain and they're hurting, and then on top of it with this disease you don't know what's going to become of that hospital stay. It, it can change because of what how MS affects you. You could lose your swallowing, your breathing, your eyesight, your use of one of your limbs. It's all that. So I can imagine just you as well going through the emotional pain of it. Okay, so um, in your opinion, um, of you witnessing the treatments, which treatment thus far in the 5 years that I've been going through MS, have you seen progression in the disease, or have you seen me getting better?
And what's treatments?
Yeah, thus far, because in the beginning I was on the Copaxone,
Of course,
and that's
Paxton, you was a rock star for a while.
yeah,
Yeah, you was a
like
rock
two
star
weeks.
for Paxton. Yeah, you was going strong. Just you was outdoing me for a while until
Yeah.
But then I've seen some. Remember the pills? Pills was
Mm,
horrible. Pills was
yeah.
horrible. That
Yeah.
that was yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
And
So go ahead.
steroids. Remember all the steroids? They try to get you to take a million of them in one day.
Yeah,
All the
42.
steroids, yeah, got you sick and stuff like that. But Cynthia seems to be doing pretty good though. It has its moments. I mean, you haven't been too bad, but
Right. I've
it's
been
kind of up and down.
yeah. It things now I think that is I don't think so much that but if you think back, I'm trying to think. I think I was more in the hospital prior to Kesimpta. Do you think so? More frequent
Yeah,
visits
yeah,
on not
yeah.
feeling,
Now,
yeah,
now that I think about it, yeah, you were more because since Cynthia, you really kind of stayed out of the hospital. You ain't really been hospitalized, and you had some pretty good days though, especially in the morning time for some reason. I don't get it, but yeah,
yeah,
you be flying through here like a a chicken getting chased by a fox.
But you know that brings me to say this. I just watch which, and I tell my warriors, if you guys want a good doctor to follow and get information, Dr. Aaron Boster, out of Ohio. I follow him, and I have been for about 2 years now. And he does lives all the time. He's terrific. And it's almost like having a doctor that you don't have to pay for. You get all this information. The research is wonderful. I've researched his research to make sure that it's all true and legit. This guy is, and he has guests on the show and yada yada yada. And let me read this real quick. Captain Tommy says, well, guys, it's been great hanging out for the live stream this time, but I gotta go. I got work in the AM, so your boy needs those 8 hours. Ha ha ha. Have a great night. Thanks for the live stream. I'll check the rest out. Thank you so much, Captain Tommy, for being there. Have a restful night and have a good night, but a better tomorrow. Hope to see you back here next Tuesday. Have a good night. And so what was I saying?
You was talking. I started zoning off when you started reading.
Brain fart.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. Where's AG at? AG,
That's
come on,
funny.
man.
What?
What was I saying?
See, that's why when somebody says goodbye, you don't say goodbye to them till it's over. Captain Tommy and Josh, all y'all, from now on, I'm forbidding the MS word to interact with you unless it's a question. If you come in and say hi, just assume that she said hello back. This Shit Talking Sundays, every day is Shit Talking Sundays. So I am zeroing you out, Josh. Josh, no more hellos for you. You're interrupting the show. Captain Tommy, hey man, hey, ha, hi. Let me give you a couple of highs for her for the next week or two. But from now on, strictly, it's about
yeah, because brain
We're
fart.
talking about the doctor.
Yeah,
the doctor that you watch.
Oh, Dr. Aaron Boster. But I forgot why I was talking about him.
Talking about the free information you can get.
Yeah, but there was
he was a great doctor out of wherever you said he was
Ohio.
from, but
Ohio.
Yes, he was.
But there was a reason why I brought him. Oh, yeah. Of what Larry was saying. Yeah, about that you see me sometimes in the morning flying around here. There's a thing called in the MS world. It's called spoon theory. Yes, spoon. SPOON. Grapefruit medical advice. Yes. He is terrific, Captain Tommy. What they mean by a spoon theory? And a woman years back kind of invented this saying and this theory of how to put a name on something. And I can relate, and my warriors probably too, because like Larry said, in the morning time, that's when I have my most energy, if I'm feeling my like $1 million, which is what my $1 million feels like. Okay. And I always say that, or what my 100% to someone else. When I say that, it's about 75%, but still that's when I'm at where I feel I'm at my best. So the spoon theory is, so for me, I've been thinking about this last couple of days because, of course, I'm a research nut, and I've come across all this stuff. So for even yourself and you guys, you warriors may want to try this, and it may kind of keep you on a little of on a schedule of energy level. And I can relate so much, and Larry will know as soon as I get to talking about this, because this is the morning issue for me. So I usually say when we make plans to go somewhere, I got a good 4 hours, right? I always say, oh, I got about a good 4 hours. So that's meaning this lady came up with, for hers, she had more spoons. So for me, I would take 4 or 5 spoons and know that I have these 5 spoons in my hand, and I want to get so much of these things done. But I know once I do laundry, how much energy am I going to have to give up? And those spoons are my energy levels. So that's how she computes on how many hours and how much energy level she has. She computes them by spoons. Those are her energies that she actually however she does, but I can relate because I've come to this number of 4 or 5 hours. 5 is pushing it, and it depends on what I do. If I'm out and about, 5 is really pushing it. And I'm talking still in my electric chair because I ride electric chair when I go out, things like that. But if I'm at home sitting down, I'm good all day. Do I still get fatigued? Yes. And, the paying attention with the eyes, the brain, and all that, as we know, it's still affected by that. So, but just that spoon theory, you have your spoons to know, okay, I need this hour. I need to reserve that fourth or fifth spoon. And this is how this woman had computated that. And it's a theory that people are using, in which um, I may not have described it too good, guys, but for me, reading that paper, and I could totally relate to the theory with this lady, how she came up with it on her own, and it kind of fit her, and it fit me in my thinking of my energy levels and stuff. So that's where that came in about the energy levels in the morning time. Um, I'm gonna ask Larry one more question, and then I'm going to update you guys for the next 2-3 minutes on my um, doctors the other day with the hematologist. I've been saying I've had this appointment now for a month and a half, probably, and I want to give you guys the update. So let's see. This last question. Uh, okay, and this well, I won't say anything more about the support system because people have chimed in about the support system. So let's see. Give me a comparison. Um, oh, I said that about the. Okay, how do you care for a warrior such as me with MS? What all entailed that you've done had to do because of either I was down, or if I'm not even home in the hospital because I've had to stay 5 days at a time. I've had to stay three days. I've had to stay one day. Then we had to go back every 24 hours for the solumedrol treatment because they could only give me 1,000 milligrams every 24 hours, and that's what it's called for. So what do you have to do just in overall general with taking care of someone like me
You
with the
have to have
disease?
the main thing you have to have is good scheduling. That's what you got to have. Because when you're down and I have to do other stuff like maybe the grandkids' school, you with the doctors, you have to have a good schedule. I have to be prepared for any time that you can be down for 1 or 2 days, 3 or 4 days. Whenever you're not feeling good, I got to already start planning for the next day. Like if you say, "Oh, I'm not feeling good right now," then I know that maybe it might carry over till tomorrow. I have to be prepared for if I have to step in the kitchen, God forbid, and cook or something like that. I have to be
Yeah.
ready. I have to be ready to know just how bad you're feeling, or if I have to be ready to run the bath, because you're not feeling good, but you want to take a bath, or it's just about the scheduling. Is when so I can know exactly what to do and have it all ready to be done in a precise time to make you comfortable, so you don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, and what I do, and Larry knows this, but for you guys, and it may help you at home with your life, and I'm sure you this may be something that my warriors are already doing, and if so, but I find for us that even though Larry works around my schedule, but I work around his schedule. If you get that, because um he still has things that he has to do for himself and others, just general in life. So I cannot, because I'm stricken, I cannot consume all of him. That's not fair. And it just wouldn't be right. And it would wear him down in the ground. And plus I still want to have some independency for myself, so the best thing to do, and it works for us, is um like he said, scheduling, to where he's still able to breathe and take care of things that that don't have anything to do with me because he still has a life. You know, Stephanie, hey, look who's on. This is my special guest, Steph. And
Hey,
actually,
Steph.
you're just catching the last question. We're gonna wrap it up. It's a little bit after 7. So
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. Told you when the people come on, Stephanie, she's saying hi to you now. She's saying hi to you for eternity. Every time you come on, she's not going to say hi to you. You can say hello to let her know that you're here, but I'm going to start forbidding her to acknowledge every single person on here because if we do get into that habit, guess what's going to happen?
we're
When
gonna have a good time. That's
millions
what
and
we're gonna
millions of
do.
people are following us that want to hear this, it's going to take us an hour to get through
Oh,
everybody.
hi,
Hey,
son.
son, how you doing? Your mom ain't going to talk to you no more until she gets off this podcast. So I'm just letting you know, shit talking Sundays because every day is shit talk. Don't you have homework or something? Don't you have a girlfriend to go bug or something? Hey, man, son, I appreciate you tuning in. You need to share, like, hit the subscribe button. Uh,
What's up,
uh,
man?
tell all your friends, okay? Because we got a show to do. So I'm just letting you know. I'm out of here again. So yeah, back to the regular scheduled programming.
Okay, so yeah, actually, so we're gonna wrap it up. I've asked maybe my last question. And look, Josh, Josh, I don't know between your jokes and AG. Yeah, I told you it's a fun place to come on Tuesday to get a little laugh, get informed, and get a little laugh at the same time. So, what I can say, you guys have had a chance to hear it from a piece of the puzzle to my support system, and I'm sure you guys know that my son also plays a big part in that. We're very close, and you got to see or hear it firsthand from Larry, you know, pieces of what he lives, you know, with, and you can say, how do you feel? Well, I don't know if I've asked you in the beginning of the show, but um, how do you feel being? You don't have a mess, but I do. But how do you feel that you live the life of MS?
Yeah,
How does
pretty
that
much.
how does that affect you mentally, spiritually, and physically?
Well, as a, it's gonna, even if you don't try to, it's gonna weigh in on you some type of way. That's just in having a significant other who's ill is gonna weigh in on you
Yeah.
because you care about that person, you know. And like I can't sum it up enough, and I tell you like this is that when you sick, we sick. That's just the best way I can put it. So
Yeah.
I can't feel it all because I can't take the pain, but as for the mental part and all the other, I feel the same, you know. So
Yeah.
Well,
when you're
he
sick,
did
we
say
sick.
we have MS, not
Yeah,
you. You
Yeah.
you may be
yeah,
having the symptoms and the whatever, but in his mind, it's y'all. Y'all got MS. You feel the pain, and if he feels the residual pains, the sympathy
Right.
pains, the agonies, the after effects, all that,
Yeah.
exactly.
hats off. I'm not going to take my hat off to you, but hats off to you um, for everything
Appreciate
that you do. Um, I've
Yeah.
known the MS Warrior a very long time. And I'm gonna tell you, she's still pretty much the same person, other than she seems a lot happier with you than I've seen her in the past over the years of life. So you
Hmm.
definitely must be a great individual, a great man, great husband,
you. Thank you.
and the stuff that you go through with it. Um,
Yes, it's not easy.
Everybody needs a good support group, no matter what it is that you're
Yeah,
going through.
I
Don't
concur.
be, yeah, do not be so stubborn that you do not want help. Some things are not meant for you to go
To do
through alone.
alone. Hmm.
So take that out of this. I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just what I would do if it was my journey with somebody who had it like Larry. And real quick, hey Andy, how you doing? It's AG. What up? Yeah, yeah. You doing all right,
Yeah,
kid? You're talking
baby, do you
Sunday.
see? Stephanie said something to you, baby. Stephanie
Yeah, thank you,
says,
Steph.
Uh,
that's my best friend. That's my other honey. So I got to acknowledge her, my son, and
uh,
Josh. That's my warrior. So yeah, I have to with
Steph,
everybody.
Steph,
But
once again, unless it's a cruel question, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do for you, Steph. You're gonna come up like this. Let me see. Let me get over here, and it's gonna be like,
don't do
oh,
it. Don't do
Thomas,
it. Don't do
Steph,
it.
Steph saying something to you. Boom, there it is. There's your acknowledgement. Celeste, we're so
Yay.
blessed to have you, Larry. Boom. We don't need to acknowledge everyone because I'm gonna tell you, after a while, I'm not man. The show will go from 1 hour a day to let's just turn it on and let it run. Because by the time you say, give a
Right.
shout out to everybody that's viewing it, the show is going to be 2 hours in.
Right. 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 Okay.
Doesn't
But
mean we
so
don't love you, Steph. AG the Dag got nothing but love for you, Josh, Andy, Captain Tommy, and all the other people that I may or may not have acknowledged. So just letting you
yes,
know.
yes, yes. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. So what I do want to say is um you and this those now Josh knows, but Stephanie, Andy, um you guys know, you guys are a piece of my puzzle as well. Stephanie, you've been my best friend forever. Son, you know how much you mean to me. So you guys all play this big part in my support system. You guys know it. I'm blessed to have you in my life. I love you, baby, for all that you do, and Andy, you too. That's it. I'm not gonna cry no more about it. I get emotional. You guys know this when I talk about my sickness and what you guys mean to me. So on that note, um, I'm going to thank my honey for coming on tonight and supporting me and sharing your story with everyone tonight on the podcast tonight. I appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure I'll
Well,
have you on again in a couple months. But
Absolutely, absolutely. You're definitely welcome back here anytime.
yeah.
appreciate it.
Um, and just for my warriors, I post and I say my upcoming appointments and la 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 la. I always give you guys the real deal. I just had my hemo appointment because my platelet counts, guys, is rising every 3 months. So my test came back that they are elevated, but I seen the hematology. She says that she doesn't see any reason to go for further testing. No bone marrow test at this point. I was tested 2 years ago for those markers for leukemias, cancers, that type of thing. So she doesn't feel that she needs to repeat anything right now at this point. I believe, and she said because those markers would have been already elevated 2 years ago, what they're looking for now. But they are sending me to have lung screening because I'm a ex-smoker. Um, Certain things that can lead to my blood platelet count rising. Um, Also, inflammatory disease, immune disease such as MS can raise those platelet counts. So you guys just keep in mind when you have that blood work done every so many months, whatever DMT you're on, disease modifying treatment. The one I'm on, Kesimpta, Josh, you're on Kesimpta. Our doctor has to send us out every 3 months to check those levels. Keep in mind, if your platelet count is rising, do the research on it so you know and remind your doctor, well, this can elevate this, right? And let them give you the advice. Yes, but always remember when you start having tests come back in a negative light, always remember inflammatory diseases such as MS can cause a lot of those symptoms. So just be mindful about that. Again, it goes back to education is key, guys. I thank you guys all for coming tonight and sharing this hour with me. I truly appreciate it. And sending all my love out there to my family and my warriors, all the blessings, your warrior vibe sending to you. Josh, thank you so much for supporting me always. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope you feel good. Maybe I'll see you in a minute. AG, thank you for your time, your effort, and your skills on spreading the word with me with this multiple sclerosis journey. I so appreciate you, friend.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Hey, everybody. I want to say, oh, there we go. Thanks for tuning in. Larry, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate you. Uh, yeah, you guys got an opportunity to see and hear a couple's point of view of dealing with MS. This is her journey. It's not medical advice, but maybe seeing a little bit inside of somebody else's window that's going through it might help you get through it. Remember, you definitely want a good support group. With that being said, I'm AG the Dad. This is In the Light of a Warrior with the MS Warrior. Larry, don't forget, she said she go see you in a minute. And from the vantage point that I have, she's in the bedroom. So have fun, my friend. Have fun. It's AG the Dad. I'm out. Stay blessed. Stay shit talking, because every day is shit talking Sundays. Peace.